So yeah, we have another day in community. Yeah, another opportunity to really stay in our heart. Really stay with what we need, and when we need something, we talk about it. We don't hold back and wait and assume. It's very practical and helpful. Okay, let's do the lesson.
Sounds good.
It's lesson 169. By grace I live, by grace I am released. Grace is an aspect of the love of God, which is most like the state prevailing in the unity of truth. It is the world's most lofty aspiration, for it leads beyond the world entirely. It is past learning, yet the goal of learning, for grace cannot come until the mind prepares itself for true acceptance. Grace becomes inevitable instantly in those who have prepared a table where it can be gently laid and willingly received, an altar clean and holy for the gift. Grace is an acceptance of the love of God within a world of seeming hate and fear. By grace alone, the hate and fear are gone, for grace presents a state so opposite to everything the world contains, that those whose minds are lighted by the gift of grace cannot believe the world of fear is real. Grace is not learned. The final step must go beyond all learning. Grace is not the goal this course aspires to attain, yet we prepare for grace in that an open mind can hear the call to awaken. It does not shut tight against God's voice. It has become aware that there are things it does not know, and thus is ready to accept a state completely different from experience with which it is familiarly at home. We have perhaps appeared to contradict our statement that the revelation of the Father and the Son as one has been already set. But we have also said that the mind determines when that time will be, and has determined it. And yet we urge you to bear witness to the word of God to hasten the experience of truth and speed its advent into every mind that recognizes truth's effects on you. Oneness is simply the idea God is, and in his being, he encompasses all things. No mind holds anything but him. We say God is, and then we cease to speak, for in that knowledge, words are meaningless. There are no lips to speak them, and no part of mind sufficiently distinct to feel that it is now aware of something not itself. It has united with its source, and like its source itself, it merely is. We cannot speak, nor write, nor even think of this at all. It comes to every mind when total recognition that its will is God's has been completely given and received completely. It returns the mind into the endless present, where the past and future cannot be conceived. It lies beyond salvation, past all thought of time, forgiveness, and the holy face of Christ. The Son of God has merely disappeared into his Father, as his Father has in him. the world has never been at all. Eternity remains a constant state. This is beyond experience we try to hasten. Yet forgiveness, taught and learned, brings with it the experiences which bear witness that the time the mind itself determined to abandon all but this is now at hand. We do not hasten it, in that what you will offer was concealed from him who teaches what forgiveness means.
All learning was already in his mind, accomplished and complete. He recognized all that time holds and gave it to all minds that each one might determine from a point where time was ended when it is released to revelation and eternity. We have repeated several times before that you but make a journey that is done. For oneness must be here. Whatever time the mind has set for revelation is entirely irrelevant to what must be a constant state, forever as it always was, forever to remain as it is now. We merely take the part assigned long since and fully recognized as perfectly fulfilled by him who wrote salvation's script in his Creator's name and in the name of his Creator's Son. There is no need to further clarify what no one in the world can understand. When revelation of your oneness comes, it will be known and fully understood. Now we have work to do, for those in time can speak of things beyond and listen to words which explain what is to come is past already. Yet what meaning can the words convey to those who count the hours still and rise and work and go to sleep by them? Suffice it then that you have work to do to play your part. The ending must remain obscure to you until your part is done. It does not matter, for your part is still what all the rest depends on. As you take the role assigned to you, salvation comes a little nearer each uncertain heart that does not beat as yet in tune with God. Forgiveness is the central theme that runs throughout salvation, holding all its parts in meaningful relationships, the course it runs directed, and its outcome sure. And now we ask for grace, the final gift salvation can bestow. Experience that grace provides will end in time, for grace foreshadows heaven, yet does not replace the thought of time but for a little while. The interval suffices. It is here that miracles are laid, to be returned by you from holy instants you receive, through grace in your experience, to all who see the light that lingers in your face. What is the face of Christ but his who went a moment into timelessness and brought a clear reflection of the unity he felt an instant back to bless the world? How could you finally attain to it forever while a part of you remains outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of you as witness to the truth?
Be grateful to return, as you were glad to go an instant, and accept the gifts that grace provided you. You carry them back to yourself, and revelation stands not far behind. Its coming is ensured. We ask for grace and for experience that comes from grace. We welcome the release it offers everyone. We do not ask for the unaskable. We do not look beyond what grace can give. For this we can give in the grace that has been given us. Our learning goal today does not exceed this prayer. Yet, in the world, what could be more than what we ask this day of Him who gives the grace we ask, as it was given Him? By grace I live. By grace I am released. By grace I give. By grace I will release. So let's go beyond what we expect. Let's expect more and deeper and holier communion and experience than we ever expected before. There is no time nor circumstance that is better than now. So we will just arrive here and now. And allow our minds to sink in and really open up to experience God's grace. And we can come back from the meditation. And we can see if there are some expressions today. We can start maybe here with the group that is right here.
Yeah, I'd like to share a couple of things that just on my mind. Isn't not real expression, but just so I want to kind of clear my mind. I had the most craziest dreams last night. Really, really symbolic dreams of murder and violence. And I was the one that was inflicting it. I never had that. I never experienced anything like it. It's very graphic. Yeah, I don't know what it represents, but it's something deep. I trust it's something really deep in the mind, just being flushed up into awareness. So I trust something is healing, you know. But yeah, I don't think I'll go into details, but it was yeah. Also, I just want to put on the altar, I haven't been really getting into the meditations in the morning, or even any of the meditations, not as quite, you know, not, you mentioned just sink down into that place. I haven't really been able to do that lately. Like the heat, I'm aware of the heat a lot. Even now, you know, I kind of not sweating, but there's a clamminess on me. So I think it's like that is more in the forefront of my awareness. So yeah, I think I just want to let that go, because I want to get into a deeper meditation. I want to feel that peace and that grace that you can sink down into. So yeah, I just want to expose anything that might be preventing that from happening.
Yeah, I felt that. I mean, others have said that too, that it's hard to get into an experience through the meditation. But, you know, I think it is helpful to meditate when your mind is open to it. But otherwise, it's actually the function that is going to connect you to spirit. Either the function or sharing and expressing, joining. It's like three ways that we use in a combination. It is meditation, but it's also function, and it is joining. And the joining is very important, because I feel that there are times when joining is avoided, communication is avoided for one reason or another, usually from past expectations that you think you shouldn't, or you can't, or don't know how. But even that's the way is to trust the spirit, to actually, yeah, try to communicate, to go and join with the one that's on your mind, and or make a call or whatever, and, you know, just start somewhere. Because that's part of the course. The course's message is join with your brother. And it's just, you know, if you think you have attack thoughts against someone and you don't, you know, someone has expressed that here, then they don't want to talk about it. But it's because they believe they're real, you know. It is invited to talk about them, to go towards the person where you have some, you know, issue, and just share how I really want to release these beliefs and perceptions that's in my mind. And I want to join with you until I feel clear, until I feel you, until I feel the love again. So it's very easy and quick compared to trying so hard on your own. And yeah, the heat, it's a concept to forgive. It's a concept to work, to invite spirit in. Can you cool my mind a bit? Can you cool down and rest in grace, you know, yeah, but try our best to make it comfortable while we still experience the body's different reactions. temperatures.
You've come to the right place to work on that.
That's for sure. Yeah, maybe it's a time of clearing and deepening right now with strange dreams and kind of the psyche, the deeper parts of the psyche is getting stirred up. Well, thinking of Lori, should we go to Lori next? You want to share where you're at, Lori?
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, better now for joining. I had that yesterday as well, where I felt like I joined with a whole load of fear, and then I really sank into the lesson. Just left feeling calmer. But I didn't get any sleep last night. I feel like there's steps to be taken.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the usual thing of like I've got the list in my head and I can't rest until I want things ticked off. And yeah, so today's lesson, it's funny because today's lesson's all about grace, which made me just come back to like, what's the thing that needs to be, well, right now, first of all, just accept the grace right now. Yeah, and then even in my chosen book, it's all, today's title is boldness, ask and you will receive.
Wow.
Yeah. I think the main fear is just the schooling situation, which I don't want to talk about too much because it's the weekend. Yeah, just contacting a school in Málaga and getting some information about the free school is obviously a Spanish system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a lot of concerns and worries about that.
Mm.
But that's ahead, I want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's good. Sometimes the Holy Spirit has you have a list, and there is the priority to tick off first and then deal with the next. It's often that way. And there are times when you are called into busy doings in the state of grace, to stay in the state of grace, but actually being efficient. That is often, we're called to that at times. And it's the only way to feel at peace is to actually flow with that pace, that faster pace. Because if we put the brakes on and say, no, I can't work this fast, then it just has other consequences and heaviness. So the flow can sometimes be efficiency too. So yeah. The line comes, just do it again. Just do it. That was something I told you guys before. It was so helpful for me many years ago when I traveled with David, and he kept wearing this cap that said Nike, just do it. Because I had so much hesitation all the time. And he wore it all the time. So every time I saw him and I had this doubt in my mind, it's like, oh, just do it. Just say it. It was so powerful. So it's been coming in. So I'll share that with you, Laurie, now. Yeah, love you all. Have a great day in grace. Invite as much grace as you're capable and bask in it. Bye for now.
Bye.